with a chain because I was eating belts like fucking pancakes every morning for breakfast. There was so much torque on that 124-inch SNS. I got a Baker 6-speed transmission in it. There was so much torque in that thing, and I was having so much fun blowing people away with this big, ugly fucking, because baggers are what guys that like dentists and doctors and lawyers and old fuckers, they drive baggers, right? But when you got a bagger, and mine's, by the way, mine's completely flat black. There's not a stitch of chrome on my bike. I haven't washed it or I haven't I haven't even cleaned the bugs off the windshield since 2007.
Damn.
Because I just want it to look like it's just a beat up, war torn piece of shit that happens to fly.
Yeah, it happens to be fast as hell.
And I like that. But I also just like I was driving next to one of those Gold Wings the other day in my truck. I have a 95 GMC pickup truck. It looks like shit, but I love my truck. I just love my truck. I'll never sell my truck. And me and my dog, Nikki, she's sitting next to me looking out the window going, wow, fuck, we're having fun. This is a great day. And lo and behold, this Honda Goldwing pulls up next to me. Now I'm listening to the radio because I like listening to the radio. I'm a radio guy. And I turned down the radio. I rolled down my window and I want to hear what this thing sounds like. And it sounded like a Singer sewing machine.
Yeah. Efficient.
It just blows by me, and it's barely a hum. I could barely hear it over the gentle breeze coming through my window.
Yeah.
And I thought, that's what I want. Comfort.
That's Japanese efficiency. What's the longest individual trip you've ever done touring?
Oh, I did Minneapolis to Sturgis several times. That was
I know you did Sturgis many, many times.
That was like 600 or 700 miles. I did LA to Las Vegas, whatever that is. I don't know what that mileage is. But I did it in the summer on a hardtail chopper through Death Valley on a 127-degree day. I showed up in Las Vegas at the MGM because I was driving my bike from LA to an event, pay-per-view we were doing. I showed up. I looked like a boiled lobster. I went immediately to the Betty Boop bar. I don't think the Betty Boop bar still exists, but I immediately went to the Betty Boop bar because I was dehydrated from driving through Death Valley on a hardtail chopper in the middle of the desert and the hottest day of the year at that point.
Now, what about that sounded like a good idea?
Well, it sounded good when you're in LA and the weather's good and everything's good. Said, hey, let's just drive to LA. Let's just drive to Vegas instead of shipping our bikes. Anyway, I got to the bar. I sat down. I smiled and my face started bleeding. It looked like something out of a horror movie.
Good Lord.
That's dehydrated.
Hang on a second. I got to put up Brian Daniels' comment. This is the longest I've ever been quiet on one of my podcasts because you guys couldn't be talking about anything that I know less about than motorcycles. I know his love for it and his passion, and he wanted to open.
Yeah,
the show.
I do have one other.
I couldn't know hardly anything about but I'm enjoying listening to you two talk. I got to do a quick shout out, Joshua Dial. Are you a Tiger King fan at all, Eric Bischoff? Did you watch the Tiger King?
I love a good train wreck just like anybody else.
Well, the Tiger King's campaign manager, Joshua Dial, has become a friend of the show, and he's been on my show a couple of times. And he watches a lot of the shows, and apparently he's a big fan of yours and dropped in tonight. But he is the campaign manager for the Tiger King, and he drops in on the shows and just gave us a shout out there. So I wanted to let you know the Tiger King's campaign manager is watching the show along with our international fans.
What was the Turner corporate reaction to you being this biker? Because I've heard stories that you would show up and park in your spot in your bikes. What was their reaction to this being the image of one of their executives?
When we were making a lot of money, they didn't care.
Shut up. Ride what I want to ride.
And I think more of it had to do with, in Turner Broadcasting, nobody really understood wrestling. It was an odd duck in the Turner portfolio. It was its own little universe of culture and history and conduct and all that. And, now had I tried to pull that off when we were losing 10, 15, $20 million a year, that probably would have been an issue. But once we started making money, it was like, whatever, just let them be. He doesn't like to wear suits. He doesn't wear, like, he won't wear ties, and I